Jay here from Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. Listen, you know what to do. I'm in the studio. It's live. Get involved in the chat and the comments. I want to hear from you lot, yes, you lot, about all the latest Manchester United news. We've got a few stories to get through. We've got a transfer story, obviously. But the main story is the takeover. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's in town. The Qatari bid has been in town. When I say the Qatari bid, I mean Sheikh Jassim's bid. Now, you might say, well, is it the Qatari bid or is it just his bid? That's, you know, a debate we can get into. But yeah, the Qatari delegation, Sheikh Jassim's delegation, was here yesterday, visiting Old Trafford. 10 hours they spent. Now it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe's time to come and speak to the powers that be about his potential takeover of Manchester United. We're going to get into all that, so make sure you are in the comments. What's this here? 86 Bat says, wake up, Jay lad. Oh, nice. Charming. Ines Fushy says, morning all. Flashburn52 says, morning Jay. Oliver Brown says, morning Jay. Andrew says, morning Jay. Nice shiny head today. Yep, I buffed it up special this morning. Great, so you lot in the chat. If you are in the chat, hit that like button. Let's start with the Sir Jim Ratcliffe potential takeover. We know we're in a position now where it's it seems the main two bidders are Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, you can see there's a story here in the Mirror. He's coming into the club today with his pictures doing the rounds. You'll see it on the thumbnail of him meeting Richard Arnold, shaking hands with him. We've got a little bit of a little bit of a video there from Dan Roan from the BBC. Dan Roan, don't forget, he's the chap that interviewed Sir Jim Ratcliffe when he was linked with Chelsea, because in the summer there was talk of him buying Chelsea, although everyone felt that wasn't a proper bid. That was like, I'm here, I've got some money, I'm interested in buying a football club, almost like a bit of a shout out to the Glazers. Now he's coming in to try and buy Manchester United. The problem Sir Jim has, Qatari, or say Sheikh Jassim from Qatar, is also interested, and while Sir Jim Ratcliffe is Britain's richest man, Sheikh Jassim seems to be one of the world's richest men, or certainly has access to funds that would make him one of the world's richest men. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Apparently, according to reports, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is hoping that his personal touch, his knowledge and his understanding of the Glazers, I think he knows them, and the fact that he's coming personally can help sway the bid in his favour. Now, Sheikh Jassim didn't come himself yesterday. He sent a delegation. There were reports that he's been to Old Trafford before and he's willing to come again, obviously. So you shouldn't look too much into that. It's not him being aloof. I don't know the sort of the full ins and outs of it. I think there was a report in one of the papers saying that he basically, don't look too much into the fact that he wasn't there. That doesn't sort of indicate any lack of commitment or whatever. I think, yeah, if he keeps going down, I think we've got it here. There, yeah, I think, was that it there? Sorry. Yeah, so it says there, although Sheikh Jassim wasn't present in Manchester on Thursday, he sent a group of big hitters to show his intent. Because Sheikh Jassim's got this this foundation, the 92 Foundation, apparently named after the class of 92. So he sent his bods from there. So Jim's come himself. We'll have to wait and see. Listen, I don't think the Glazers care whether you come yourself, whether they know you, whether, you're dead nice to them, whatever, how nice you smell, what you're wearing, any of that jazz. All they care about is money. Whoever gives them or offers them the most money is going to become Manchester United owner. I am absolutely certain of that. I don't even think your plans for the future of the club matter to them. These aren't United fans. If you came to me and you said, my plan for the club or for the future of Manchester United is I want to do this with the stadium, I want to do this with a local area, I want to, invest in the team, this is how I see, Manchester United panning out, this is how I'm going to back the manager. That interests me, that concerns me. I'm a Manchester United fan. The Glazers ain't United fans. They don't care. All they're going to be caring about is how much money is going to be in my bank account at the end of this. That is it. Now, there is a sort of twist in this tale, if you will, that there's still unknown bidders, apparently, according to some reports that we've seen in the Express. I think we've seen it in the Managerial news as well. There are other bidders involved who we don't know who they are, but there was talk that one of them is the Elliott Management Group, and they could be funding potential bidders. They're like a hedge fund, investment bankers, basically, where they could fund bidders or give money to someone who wanted to take control of Manchester United or help facilitate that deal or whatever. Not facilitate, sorry, help back it. Now, the question is, could that be the Glazers? Could the Glazers turn to the Elliott Management Group and go, okay, can you give us some money? Can you get us some funding so we can keep control of Manchester United? Now, that would be horrible. And I think the fans would be up in arms about it. We've already seen some sort of disagreements and debate, shall we say, about whether fans want Sir Jim Ratcliffe or whether they want Sheikh Jassim. People saying, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we're still going to have debt. I think the debt gets passed on to Ineos. People questioning Sheikh Jassim, is he not a front for the Qatar, which means we're going down the route of sports washing. There's all these different arguments going forward. But I think the main point that everyone's making is they're fed up in the Glazers. We've had 18 years of them. They've let the club just fall behind the stadium. I mean, you look at the way the stadium is now. Look at these bids, and this will indicate to you just how far Manchester United have fallen behind. The people that are coming in to buy Manchester United, they ain't saying, I'm going to buy Manchester United. That's it. They're saying, I'm going to buy Manchester United. I'm going to rebuild or revamp the stadium because it's falling apart. I'm going to revamp the training ground because it's falling behind. It's now practically vintage. And we're going to invest heavily in the team and get Manchester United challenging again. Now, apparently the Glazers were upset with some of the stories that were being leaked by various potential takeovers about how restoring Manchester United to former glory and all this stuff. They were saying, well, that makes it look like we've been sort of letting the club go down to rack and ruin. And you look at the way the club's gone over the last 18 years, that's kind of what's happened. You had Sir Alex Ferguson's era where he kept winning things because he's Sir Alex Ferguson and he's the greatest manager of all time. Even then, he won it in spite of things. Now, I know he came out and he said, well, there's no value in the market, but there was times when we could have gone a little bit further in the transfer market. There was times when we saw Cristiano Ronaldo let Carlos Tevez leave, and we brought in Michael Owen, Gabriel Obertan, and Antonio Valencia. That was a sort of transfer window of summer that we never fully recovered from, ever, really. Had we gone out and got a Karim Benzema or someone, I know he obviously went to Madrid, but someone like a superstar young attacker who could have carried the team forward alongside Wayne Rooney, then it would have been a different story, but we didn't. We cut corners, and you wonder how much of that was actually Fergie and how much was the Glazers not giving him the money that he needed. Then you look at the stadium, falling apart. There's leaks in the roof. You can't sit down properly. Where I stand in the TRA, you stand up throughout the game. At half-time sometimes, because I'm getting old, I like to sit down. It's almost impossible. And I'm not even at, so I'm 5'11", and my knees are against the seats. It's just ridiculous. The stadium needs, in my opinion, rebuilding. I know some will disagree and just say a revamp, but it needs a lot of money spending on it either way. Then you look at the training ground. Wasn't it not that long ago that Casey Stoney said there was no facilities for the women to go to the toilet in the training ground? What are you on about? I don't mean her, but how has this happened? How is a club the size of Manchester United, we made all this sort of announcement and this big fanfare about us having a women's team, how have we not got the facilities that we should have? Also, why are we still having to go down to Leigh Sports Village to watch teams of Manchester United play football? Now, I hate Manchester City as much as anyone, but you look at them, they've got the City Academy, whatever it's called, stadium near the Etihad. They've got a stadium that's fit for purpose where the academy teams can play. United should have something like that. And this is where these bidders are going to have to make their case. But like I said earlier, I don't think that that's going to sway the Glazers. I think it'll be the money. But it's still, for the fans' point of view, it's still something we need to see. Because it just amazes me how far behind we've fallen. So you've got to the point where whoever buys Manchester United is going to have at least $2 billion to spend on infrastructure. That shouldn't have ever been allowed to happen. And unfortunately, this is what happens when you have the Glazers in charge. Craig Kennedy says, love you, Jay. Love you too, bro. Rob Halliday Drums makes a very, very good point. Jay, can you laugh at Arsenal for us? Gladly. Isn't it funny, eh? Wouldn't it be amazing, right? This would soften the blow, if City won the league. I'll be honest with you, right? I would rather Arsenal won the league than City. Obviously, I'd rather neither of them did. I hate them both. But for me personally, City winning it, doing 3 in a row. I live in Manchester. I see a lot more City fans than I do Arsenal fans. It do my head in a bit more. Yeah? And also, City, my top 3 of teams I hate are Liverpool, Leeds and City. Probably Liverpool, City, Leeds, if you put it in order. Arsenal are way down the pecking order. So Arsenal win the league. It'd be horrible online. They'd all come out of the woodwork. They'd all be gloating and praying and bragging and going OTT and saying Arteta's the greatest manager of all time and all this other nonsense. He's come out when Wenger was winning things. But I could stomach it more than City. But it would actually be pretty funny if this Arsenal team, after everything that's gone on, didn't win out this season. If they just ended the season trophyless. That would be pretty funny. That would massively soften the blow. If you don't know what's going on as well, Brad Painter in the super chat says, red panty night when the parasites are gone. GGMU. Fair enough. They got knocked out on penalties last night of the Europa League by Sporting Lisbon. Did you see, was it Gonzalo Ramos' goal? against Arsenal, it was unbelievable. He scored that goal last night against Arsenal. Get in the chat, because I didn't watch it because I was on the way after the wasn't Gonzalo Ramos, what am I on about? Anyway, yeah, there was a wonder goal against him. Someone in the chat let me know, put me out. Thank you. Pedro Gonzalez, sorry, getting confused there. Yeah, he scored from like the halfway line, didn't he? I was watching it on my phone on the way home after the watch along. So they're out of the Europa because they got knocked out on penalties. United looking good for it. Don't forget as well, we'll be here later on in about an hour and a bit's time with the the live draw watch along. So make sure you join us for that. Just in terms of transfer news as well, there's a story in the Evening News, and this has been picked up. This has come from Football Insider, and it says, according to a report by Football Insider, United are willing. I don't know why they put willing in inverted commas. What does that mean? To offer centre-back Victor Lindelof to Inter Milan as part of a swap deal that would see Denzel Dumfries seal a move to Old Trafford. What do you reckon of Denzel Dumfries? I quite like him. Is he that guy? Is he the right back we need? Get involved in the chat in the comments and let me know. People saying 11 a.m. George, I think it's 12 p.m. UK time. I'm pretty sure it is. Clemens Davies says 11 a.m. draw. I think it's the Champions League. Yeah, Ryan Milligan says it's 12 p.m. for the draw. We'll probably go live about. Should we go 5 to 12. We'll go live. Lots of people talking about different owners. Ad says not Jim. It'd be terrible. It's weird, isn't it? Because a few months ago, before the Qataris showed their interest, everyone was sort of mad keen for Jim Ratcliffe, and now it's like the Qataris could come in and just have so much money that you could look at a proper rebuilding job. So a lot of people have gone, well, they're preferring the Qatari bid. Get involved in the chat and the comments, let us know. 86 Bat says, fancy another Wembley trip, Jay. Simon Shaw says, Palace have sacked Vieira. Yeah, I didn't mention that. That broke this morning. Patrick Vieira, who I don't think they've won a game this year in 2023 or something like that. I think they've taken 5 points or something in the last 3 months. And one of those points was against Manchester United, wasn't it? Obviously. But yeah, Patrick Vieira having a bit of a stinker. They're just above the relegation zone. I mean, I'm not a big Vieira fan. I'm not that bothered, if I'm being brutally honest. It does sadden me a little bit that there is a lack of black managers in the Premier League, and that, you know, one of the few that is there, he's now lost his job. But I think, you know, if you're not doing well, no matter what colour you are, if you're not doing well and you're not doing the job that you're paid to do, then I understand why Palace have let him go, because they're obviously in a precarious position where they could end up not just getting sucked into the relegation dogfight. I think they're already there, but end up getting relegated, and he hasn't got anything in his CV which makes you think he's the man to get you out of that. So I understand why that's happened. 1 Minute Recipe says, what's for lunch, Jay? And now he started spamming. All right, you don't have to ask me 3 times. I don't know, I usually go with a meal deal. Any meal deal from any supermarket. Rob Halliday Drum says, BBC suggesting Gerrard could work. What, to manage Palace? I doubt that. Surely not. That would be absolutely hilarious. The Benevolent Patriarch says, for me, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Leeds in that order. Naaman Rashid says, we don't need oil money. Literally need the new owner to invest in the club without debt. We spend 1.5 billion without oil money on poor recruitment. Yeah, hit that like button. Let's get to 200 likes. I'm going to wrap up shortly. Let's get to 200 likes. Come on. Almost 1,000 people watching, and we're still only on 128 likes. Adam Latchford says, Lampard is the worst manager in Premier League history. If Palace hire him, they will go down. Yeah, he's shocking. Stuart Thomas says, I'm feeling left out today. You ignoring me, Jay? Absolutely not. I never ignore anyone. Harry Gibson says, hi, Jay. Hope you're having a good morning. What happened to fan cams? Yeah, there was a video we put out a little while ago. We kind of knocked fan cams on the head, and I'll explain why. Now and again, we'll do a bit of reaction. We looked at the final. We did one with Steve and with Andy Tate. We tend to do most of our reaction in the studio. Fan cams, for a multitude of reasons, just it felt like it was time to move on for us as a channel. You're still going to get your reactions. You still can get involved in the channel by sending us your score predictions and stuff like that, and joining us. You know, we have guests coming on podcasts and stuff, and we like to bring on new fans, or not new fans, but fans that haven't done a lot of YouTube before onto podcasts and stuff as well. But yeah, it felt like it was a bit of an end of an era of fan cams. They'd sort of come synonymous with certain things we were into. It was difficult to sort of manage them in the way we wanted. When we give someone a fan cam opportunity, you want to just let them say what they want. And at times it felt like there was people saying things that we just couldn't put on the channel, to be honest with you. So yeah, we rolled them back a little bit. You never know, never say never. They might come back, but for the time being, yeah, we sort of knocked them on the head. Adam B72 says, people keep saying Sir Jim is a fan to get him, but so he's the Sheikh, and he didn't try to buy Chelsea, nor has a season ticket at Chelsea. That's a point there. ZXL says, we need more Andy Tate on Paddock. He was on yesterday. If you want to go and check out Andy Tate, he was on the channel yesterday. His video's still up as well from his post-match reaction from the Europa League win, which reminds me, we'll be live in about an hour with the live draw, the Europa League draw. Yeah, we'll be going over that. We're talking through that. Manchester United could get, I think there's Feyenoord, there's Juventus, there's Sporting Lisbon in there. I think Union Berlin as well. There's a few teams in there, a few interesting ones. So we'll be back in about an hour. So make sure you are joining us for that. If you've not done already, hit that like button and share and subscribe to the channel. I've been Jay Motti. This has been The Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.